thing unless there's extenuating circumstances. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, may I respond?
Yes, you may.
May I respond, sir?
Yes, you may, Keith.
Okay.
Yes.
We have attended every single meeting with 2 or 3 exceptions over the last 3 years that either I or John Camardo or Chantel Hoteling have attended every single meeting. There have been times when we've had deaths in the family or unexpected occurrences. But I want to remind you, Mark, that we do not report to you. We are an independent agency. We want to work with you. We do work with you. But the idea that you direct us in any way is erroneous. And I appreciate your desire. And that's why we have shown you incredible respect and always come to the meetings and always answer questions. I find it offensive that you would assume an attitude like this. Because, Mark, let me remind you of something. You have missed more meetings than we have.
Keith. Let's not make any personal. I understand that.
It seems to be personal, and that's all I will say. But it does seem to be personal.
Oh, it is personal. Okay, but if this is a once an occasion thing, and I do think that, it's been discussed, and if everybody's going to be here, then and it doesn't happen that often. Mark expressed his opinion, and I'm okay with moving on.
Thank you. Yeah,
okay.
And I apologize for I've been struggling to get online here. It's frustrating, and forgive me for verbalizing some of that frustration. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. That being said, Keith, do you have anything to say at all about the board elections?
No, I think you have our report, and unless you have questions, we'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Moving on to our clerk of the legislator.
Hello. I was sworn in January 30th. I just want to thank you all for this opportunity. I do want to announce that Christy Capone will be my deputy. She will start officially February 17th, since February 16th is a holiday. And I'm working on a boards and agencies database with Kim Diger. She's guiding me along the way of trying to build a database where we can keep the information in one location to be able to get the terms, expiration dates, members, everything like that consistent, and make sure that we're able to provide reports if people are wondering who's on a board and agency, and keep that.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then I think that's about it. We do have a resolution, but I had asked to get that full.
And it is exactly, which is GO3.
GO3.
Do you want it pulled or tabled till next?
Just pull it so
Pull it
that
for now?
we can kind
Okay.
of have a fresh start. Spreadsheet does need some updating, so just want to have that fresh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to congratulate both of you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And we get some extra IT will help as well. That comes with the territory, doesn't it? All right, well, thank you guys. Thank you both and congratulations.
Thank you.
Fred, any updates?
No updates. I continue to look for an assistant county attorney, and I'll keep everybody informed on the progress as that goes along. Thank you.
All right, I'd like to call up our next, our county clerk. You anything to say?
Hi, our offices are doing quite well for just getting into the position, adjusting very well for what's going on. The staff is still remaining short. We did conduct some interviews, and we're looking to make an offer to somebody we did offer. We're just waiting for her to accept our offer to come join our team.
What position is it?
Cashier?
As a cashier. Yeah,
Cool.
that's it. Our DMV office, we do have a slight error in the document that we provided for you for our numbers. And that is in the January online transaction count. The actual transaction count should be for online 2,681 for a total count of 7,069. So that's good news. We still see the majority of our customers wanting to come in and use our in-person services. This doesn't include, obviously, the people that come to our office that don't conduct the transaction. Many transactions are done in our office are not paper transactions, and those are not in our account. So that's great. Also, in case that anybody's not aware, we are going to be closing our office this Friday, February 13th at 1 p.m. And we will not reopen until the 18th at 9 o'clock in the morning. That opening time it goes by the state. If the state doesn't do a successful implementation of that RISE program, we do have to remain closed. So if you are legislators, you may get phone calls from your constituents, it's statewide. No transactions will be done across the state at that time. So just so you're aware, if we don't open, it's because we don't have approval from the state to open yet. Okay, that includes online. So if we cannot refer them to go online for those transactions, online will be done as well. Okay. Our Dreams project, that's going quite well. We're about 94% completed with that project at this time. I've been meeting with Michael and Neil to bring me up to speed on that Dreams project. It is 94%, and we are well below right now. But we budgeted for that for 4 million. We're just over 3 million right now on that, so we're right in line with it. Any questions?
Two, what happens if you're under budget? You don't keep the funds if you don't expend them? I mean, how does that work?
Right now.
If you don't need to expend them, you'll.
We are expecting to do some the project is supposed to conclude around September. So they're expecting to do some post projects to bring us up to where we need for that.
So your goal is to use the whole $4 million.
Yes, correct.
And what is a paper transaction?
Oh.
You said, well,
Paper
most of them are,
Paper count, so anything that we put into the computer.
okay,
So a lot of times people will come in just for information, and there's transactions that we conduct that are not go through the computer.
oh, that's
So
what you
they-
mean, so if they're not
Yes.
recorded, if they're not going through the
That's
computer,
correct. If they're
okay,
recorded, if they don't go through the computer, we don't have to physically touch the computer, it's not.
okay, gotcha.
Is there a fee for a non-paper?
Verbal transaction, no.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on. Bun?
Evening, you have my report. I did provide, several kind of key updates and initiatives that we're working on at the front half of my report. But just a couple items that I wanted to just, make sure that you had updates on. So we did coordinate the Toshiba copier pickup with Toshiba finally at the county office building. That's all scheduled for the first week of March. So we're kind of working with the vendor. As soon as the decontamination of that, of those copiers occur, we're going to wrap them, put them down on the first floor at the county office building, and we'll be coordinating pickup with the vendor the first week of March.
And we stop paying? Is that how it works?
Yes, correct. They'll be taking off the lease at that point in time.
Okay.
Yep. The second half of that is you're also going to be picking up key IT equipment at the county office building and decontaminating that as well. And that'll give us the opportunity to repurpose a bunch of this network equipment and other IT equipment in other departments going forward. So it will be a cost savings to the county, quite substantial cost savings to the county. So we don't, repurchase this equipment again. So all that is going to be happening, around the first week of March. And then just a quick update on the Auburn Fire Department E911 project. Our fiber work is scheduled to be completed over there the week of February 17th. That'll provide us the full redundant connectivity from Auburn Fire to Osborne Street, where some of our radio equipment is going to be housed. And that is because we have, some limited capacity in the data center at Auburn Fire. So the idea was to move some of the radio equipment infrastructure in that tower where we have, our power, redundancy and everything else set up already. So that's kind of the game plan. And it's actually going to help. It'll be the first step to actually start moving some of the email infrastructure once this fiber work is complete. So that's kind of where we stand there.
We have a backup to 911 now, but this will be the permanent backup.
Yes.
Once it's all done.
And these are the first steps to actually start moving the 911 infrastructure out of the COB and into the various locations.
Anything else for Tom? Thank you, Tom.
Yep, I do have two resolutions.
I'll do them now. Want to describe them a little bit now that you're,
Yep, if you want to just read one, I can.
GO4 authorizing the chair of the Cayuga County Legislature to enter agreement with Tri-Delta
Yep.
Reassurance Corp. For software development and its professional services.
So yeah, so this is a block of hours that actually Amanda was referring to when she was talking about the boards and agencies software. We're partnering with a third party to help with some of the development work, but also in those block of hours, Kim Dagger will be provided crossover training so that she'll be able to take on and administrate this software going forward as far as the board and agency solution goes.
Can I get a motion?
Pull it, Mark.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Is this similar to what Tyler does for Munis? I mean, it's a special software. They do software development?
No, so this is a solution. We're working with a third party to work with Kim and Amanda both on the boards and agencies.
Specifically to
that. And once we develop the solution in Microsoft, Kim will be cross-trained on how to take the system over going forward. So we're not relying on a vendor to do any of that work.
Okay.
Sounds like they'll save us some money.
Yep.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposed? Thank you. So, all right, so we're gonna move on to GO5, that's yours as well. It's authorizing the chair of the legislature to sign a one-year renewal agreement with Duno multi-factor authenticity.
Authenticity. Yeah. No, it isn't that either.
So that, in short, that's our MFA solution. So what that provides is a second layer of authentication when we're using to gain critical accesses to like VPN or web-based email. So we have that solution embedded as part of our requirements from a cybersecurity perspective. So this is the license to authorize the purchase of that software.
What is VPN?
Virtual private network. So what it is, it's a piece of software you use to connect to county resources when you're outside of the network.
What's the cost of this?
Of Duo?
Yeah.
Well, Duo is the multi-factor authentication, so it's the second layer of authentication. That's $28,000 a year.
Can I get a motion?
I'll move that.
Let you guess second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any opposed? All right, thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Kevin.
Sure.
Good afternoon, everyone. You have my report as submitted. Probably biggest update is here in February, we started another veteran breakfast up at Port Byron at Potter's. And we had a pretty good start for the first event. We had 26 people attend. It was a cold day, so I'm sure that kept a few people away. But so as I think I said last time, now we have an event in the north part of the county in Fairhaven and central Port Byron and south down at Dugan. So we've got quite a spread supporting the veterans in the county. Some other initiatives we're working on is trying to work with Cayuga BOCES on sponsoring veterans to take courses there. And also working with Cayuga Museum, they're planning on doing a military history in Cayuga County starting in September. And I had an initial meeting with them to find some local veterans to give their stories. The focus is going to be on Vietnam. And again, that is our key demographic that we're working to reach as well. So those are updates. Any questions on my report or anything else?
Oh, thank you, Kevin.
Have a good night.
This Kevin.
I don't have any resolutions, any questions on my report?
Yeah.
You don't report to me, but I felt like.
In the other.
Like he wanted to talk.
That's in the national planning.
All right.
Christine has two
Listen, we
resolutions.
gotta lighten them.
I know.
up, Okay?
Good to be
I
ready.
gotta stop this. If somebody, I'm not gonna be taken serious, but I'll stop. Okay, all right. We have two other resolutions. GO1, you know what? I think I could combine these two. Are they both motor vehicle? No.
No.
All right, GO1, authorizing to fill the deputy county clerk third position in the county clerk's office. Can I get a motion?
I'll move for discussion.
Second, I'll second it.
Just in case this, Christine came to the Personnel Committee with a request to keep her number of staff the same in DMV and the clerk's office, but to make some reorganizations on the titles of the current staff. Instead of, when the budget was passed, I think there was only one deputy county clerk in the budget,
Yes, a second.
a deputy two, but leaving you the clerk and just one deputy instead of two deputies.
That's correct.
You're asking to use the funding from the, what's the title?
That's so indexing and recording.
Yes. And to cover any small additional amounts of costs within your own budget to make that. So you'll unfund the index and recording clerk and have a second deputy. It's
Correct. And it would not affect the budget. We take it from our own budget lines.
right. And then the GO2 is asking, instead of getting rid of
Talking about deal one.
well, I thought he wanted to put them together. No, we don't want to. Okay. Yep, they're just changing of titles though. But yes, that is what you came to the clerk, to the Personnel Committee with in terms of your own staffing needs. You would rather have, you'd rather have three deputies, but you realize that's
not gonna happen.
Yes.
If I can get two, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yep.
Right now, Sam Locker she's filling in as a deputy three. She's been working out of class because she's well educated in the Department of Motor Vehicles as well. Like this Monday, I only had two people at the Department of Motor Vehicles. So I was able, because of her old title of deputy three, have her go over it. Her and I both went over on Monday to work at the Department of Motor Vehicle all day.
you would not have that
No, I
flexibility.
would have had to close. I put our full staff at full.
Are we still talking about the first deal one here?
Yep.
Yeah, I did not bundle.
Okay, so if that was the case, that this person with the new classification can go over and work at the
That's
DMV?
correct.
Can,
That's
it's not working out of title.
If she stays, that's correct. If she stays in indexing reporting clerk, I cannot use her at the DMV. If she moves up to deputy clerk three, I can use her over at the department.
That's fine. Oh, same pay, right?
A little bit higher, but the resolution shows like a $5,000 difference and money moving from within the clerk's budget to cover it.
We adjusted our lines.
Okay. I didn't see that in the resolution, but I'm good.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? All right, congratulations. Okay, we got it. All right, GO2, authorizing to fill one position, full-time senior motor vehicle cashier. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll move that.
Can I get a second for discussion? I'll second it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Hi.
Any opposed?
Aye.
And just point of reference, this is not increasing any staff there. And because the rate of pay of, well,
Can I speak on that?
yes, go ahead.
Okay, so the difference in salary between a clerk, a cashier and a senior is around $2,000. That's it. But what the authority that they can do is huge. And we're not asking for any more money in the budget lines at all. And the reason for that is because we've been working without somebody now for 4 months in that position. So the money's already there in the budget. But with the new drives program that's coming out that the state's implementing, right now we have one supervisor or one senior. When you abolished me, you took that senior away. So there's only 2 seniors. It requires 2 people to do cash up. If one person's up, they can't do cash up. The other thing on that is with the new program, every time a person comes in without a license, it has to be overridden by a senior. So without a senior in there, if one person's on lunch, it's going to make it so we can't run those transactions because they have to have senior credentials to do a transaction now for somebody if they don't have a driver's license. Like if they've lost their license, you will no longer be able to come into a DMV and get it by a cashier. A senior is going to have to override that. So with the new drives program, it's making it a little bit more challenging to not have seniors in that office. Yes, Martha.
So currently,
Yes,
how many senior clerk cashiers?
one.
This will bring you to two.
That's correct. It'll bring me to two seniors.
So they can coordinate lunches, coordinate.
That is correct. Vacations, things like that.
Because when the budget in 26 eliminated a staff from the DMV, it was
Senior,
yes, we eliminated the senior.
correct.
And you're asking to fill the senior, but no fill behind or anything.
That's
So
correct.
the same number of people
That's
will be
correct. So
working
yes,
at the DMV.
Eliminate the cashier and implement a senior.
Yes.
Christine, so just, I guess what you're doing is you're still gonna have the same amount of people, but by promoting somebody into this position, it gives you more flexibility with that person to cover more stuff.
That is correct, 100% correct. We have financial reports and audits to do. Cashiers can't do them, only the seniors can. All those responsibilities can only be done by a senior.
So this year, because their savings from having not used salary in the salary fund or
Yes.
budget portion, it'll be a wash or, come clean for us.
Yes,
Next year, when you're preparing for 2027, then you would need to come with a proposal that
Well, we'll have to
fits
adjust-
into the budget.
correct. We'd have to adjust the lines. We'd have to make some line adjustment.
Right.
Any other questions? Well, I want to give you a compliment. This is good management. It's taking what resources you got and spreading them in cross managing. So I'm gonna give you a compliment on that. But the county attorney has said that we actually have to take a vote. He wants us to revote, because, right?
Right, I wasn't able to keep track of who voted how, so if they would
Okay.
revote, that would, I could
So
keep a
you
better
want to
record.
start from the very beginning? Did we get?
No, just on
GO2.
All right. So can I get a motion for GO2?
We have that.
We have
So I
one.
just wanted to vote itself because I
All
did
in favor, you
All in
want to know.
favor?
all in favor and opposed.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Okay. Can I get a motion to close? Close.
To adjourn?
Adjourn.
Yes.
I
I'll
said
make it.
close, sorry. Adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
If I try to vote, stop me. I'm not on this committee. That one? There's no hands. Oh, no, thank you.
For the rose.
Okay. It's all. Well, oh, sorry.
Nice job.
Like a burn house.
Okay, let's get started. Minutes to approve? Motion? Second,
I'll second.
any additions or corrections? Otherwise, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. Appointments. We're gonna handle those when we get to the regular meeting. Presentation, Mr. Robert Griffin.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the legislature. Thank you very much for having me. I really do appreciate it. My name is Bob Griffin. I'm the Regional Director of the U.S. Central Small Business Development Center. I do have a presentation that I'm going to kind of run through real quick. I know some of you may not have been in the room when I was back before the full legislature back in spring. We're going to see if the technology works. So I'm going to test it now. Hey, look at that.
All right.
Oh, maybe not. Did it work? There we go. Excellent. So we provide no-cost confidential advisement to existing and aspiring entrepreneurs really at all stages of the business life cycle, regardless of where they're at, including Robin Long, who we recognize this past year as the Cayuga County Small Business Owner of the Year. She came to us probably in about 2021, initially kind of dreaming about the idea of opening up her own place. Worked with us intensively leading up to her acquisition of the business and opening it up, and we continue to be in touch with her. She evolves as an entrepreneur. I'm proud of the work that she did, and what we love about her is that she listens. She listens to good advice. She knows how to accept it. She asks a lot of fantastic questions. And she is relentless, which is what we loved about her. Some of you may know that fellow, Mr. Matt Pearson, owner of Simple Rose Coffee. We nominated him from for the U.S. Small Business Administration's Entrepreneur of the Year, Rural Entrepreneur of the Year for the Upstate SBA District. There's only 3 of these that are awarded in all of New York State. Matt's another one. He just listened. And you know, this guy had a dream. I want to serve coffee. I want to make coffee. I want to make people happy. And he's done a great job of that, and continues to be innovative in how he approaches operating his restaurants, and where he's kind of going moving forward. I think is going to be really fun. So why do I share stories? I share stories all the time, and the reason I do it is because they're relevant. They matter. The people that we help, they matter. It matters to the communities that we serve. And you know, we spend a lot of time trying to teach people not only how to be good business owners, how to get started, but how to grow and how to be successful for the long haul and be important to your communities. And small businesses are critical, especially in rural counties like Cayuga County. And it even goes back further. We're focusing a lot on manufacturing. We've been doing a lot with Fisher Springer and wine and products, trying to expand her markets to the international levels, where we're trying to identify ways that she can get her products even out in Europe in particular. Is where we're trying to focus in right now with her. Another great client, just hustles, but is willing to do the work. But you know, she needed us at a point in time where we were able to provide some valuable information to her as she's gone along her journey. So for those of you that are not familiar, we're funded by a federal grant in large part. It comes from the U.S. Small Business Administration. That grant flows through the SUNY Research Foundation in Albany. Those funds are then distributed to institutes of higher education across the state of New York. We are one of 20 centers in New York that receive some of this federal funding. In order to function though, in order to be able to obtain those federal dollars, we have to provide a local match. That local match is predominantly carried by Onondaga Community College, which is our host institution, and Jefferson Community College out of Watertown. Beyond that, we have to rely on local contributions to help us try to achieve the federal match requirement. We continue to hit, to miss the mark on meeting that federal match requirement. We are shy just a little every year. I've been able to kind of cobble together some support from New York State's SBDC to meet the gap. But that's why we've been continuing to try to build our relationships in the counties that we serve, make sure they understand the work that we are doing, so that we can continue trying to get the support that we need so that we can keep doing what we're doing. So we have about 8 advisors at our center, plus myself and a coordinator. There are about 140 advisors across the state, a lot of specialty programs that we can tap into. So when you're dealing with us at the Onondaga Center, it's not just us, you're dealing with an entire network. So if we need an expert in underwater basket weaving, I can reach out somewhere to one of the advisors across the state. There's probably somebody that knows an entrepreneur trying to build an underwater basket weaving business, and they can tell us all about it. That's a really powerful tool to have when you have that kind of bench strength across the state to be able to leverage. We do a lot in research, industry research. We preach knowledge. People cannot make informed decisions without having good data, without having knowledge. So we spend a lot of time on market research, industry research. We help people with financial knowledge, understanding how their financial model works, getting them access to capital, building out business plans, that kind of stuff. But it goes beyond that. I mean, you name a small business topic, we have somebody that can talk to that topic and really educate people. And again, help them make informed decisions and take informed action. It's very difficult to take action if you don't have data. Couple other things I just want to kind of get into real quick is our team. This is us. We're scattered all over the 4 winds, but there's over 200 years of small business ownership, management, leadership experience on that screen right there. And we do cover a huge territory. We go all the way from Alexandria Bay in the north to just below Portland in the south, from Geneva in the west over to Hamilton in the east. Those orange counties, those are counties where we split service with other SBDC centers, Mohawk Valley out of Utica, and the Binghamton University SBDC down in Binghamton, is where we share counties. I also don't make decisions in a vacuum. I've got an advisory board composed of economic development specialists, private sector business owners, lending institutions, and others in academia who kind of help me think through things. Well, I think I'm a reasonably intelligent guy. There's a lot of smart people on that screen there that we bounce ideas around. Are we best positioned to be doing the work that we're doing? Are there things that we aren't doing that we should be doing? What's happening in each of these individual counties? I can't be everywhere. So I rely on them to really provide us a lot of good insights so that we are doing the work that needs to be done. The SBDC is the single most successful entrepreneurial development program in the history of the world. And I'm not just saying that, like that's an absolute verifiable fact. And in this region alone, just the 8 counties that we serve, we've documented over $700 million in capital infusion. Actually, when you factor in what we're in the process of doing right now, it's going to be over $750 million. And together with that, over 4,500 business starts. That's impressive when you think about it. 60,000 clients served. That's a lot of lives touched over 40 years. And we continue to do the good work across the territory. And listen, as you would expect, when you've got a Syracuse, that's kind of the center of the universe where a lot of activity is happening, you would expect that to be the county where you have the most action. However, one of the things that has happened since I've been here in March 22 is our emphasis on our rural communities and being present. When I first started, we were doing a very, and I'm going to show you that slide in a second, a small number of clients here in Cayuga County. And we've made huge strides in trying to move the needle on. But overall, we served about 1,450 clients. This past year, our fiscal year for the SBA runs October 1 to September 30. This number actually shows a decline, but it's because the SBA changed the definition of a client on us. They had to meet a certain time threshold before we could actually count them, as opposed to whether or not we actually gave them substantive information. So they changed the definition, the number goes down. That's great. But it's one of those things that you deal with when you have a federal funder, and that's okay. We understand how the game works. But this is the slide I want to call attention to. If you look at the left-hand side of that, you are not seeing a lot of clients. And as you kind of track the progress, you can see what happened the year after CETA closed. And what we've been trying to do ever since then is be that much more present to try to help fill in some of the gaps and to help our economic development partners such as Cayuga County IDA, Auburn IDA, CCDC, and really trying to help be kind of that connective tissue to provide access to the folks that we serve in this county with the resources that they need. And as you can see here also, roughly about 35% of the clients that we see are outside of the city of Auburn. And we're trying to figure out ways to be able to be more present. So where we're kind of headed from here, we're really trying to emphasize education. One of the things that's coming online is a certificate in entrepreneurship program, probably in the second quarter. Again, it's tended to be fully online, fully self-paced, but accessible to folks, particularly in rural communities who can't make it to one of our in-person classes. The other thing we're working on, and I'm going to have a more definitive announcement here in a few weeks, is a growth services program that is going to be absolutely transformational because it's going to focus on second stage businesses. How do we make businesses more sustainable? How do we help them grow? How do we help them survive what are really uncertain economic times, particularly in the regulatory compliance environments? And so we're going to be emphasizing that. That program announcement we're going to be making in about a month, which I think is going to be really exciting for us. We're also trying to get ready for the Micron moment. Now, let me be honest about this. Micron's not calling me. And that's okay. They don't need me. They don't need the FDC. What they need is they need supply chain. They need companies. And so part of what we're trying to focus in on is being prepared for those folks that are trying to open or expand businesses that are hopefully going to be doing business with tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers. We're not going to be dealing with tier 1 suppliers. It's the tier 2s, the tier 3s, service providers. It's those folks, as well as the businesses that surround, the center of the universe as it relates to Micron. The areas that we're going to see growth in are going to be accommodations and food services, professional services, healthcare and social services. Those are going to be the three biggest areas where we're going to see the greatest growth in small businesses as a region. We're also doing a lot now with Fort Drum. We're spending a lot of time there on post now trying to educate, encourage folks, keep their businesses in central New York and the North Country because it's a pretty good life here. And there's plenty of opportunities. And the other thing we're trying to do is educate them on how to buy businesses. There are lots of businesses that are going to be going through transition over the next 3 to 10 years. A lot of opportunity for those folks to be able to acquire some of those businesses, keep them open, keep the jobs, keep them relevant. And then doing things like community engagement, things like this, give you all some updates, let you know what we're doing, that we're trying to help, that we're here, that we're present. And I also wanted to thank you all for your continuing support of the Small Business Development Center, and happy to entertain any questions anybody would have.
I have a question. How many counties do you serve? Because I've seen that map up there.
Yeah, it's 8.
It's 8. Do you have like a location in every one of those counties, or do they have to come? I think are you located in Binghamton?
So no, we're based at the campus of Onondaga Community College. That's our main headquarters. However, and I'm proud to say this, we're the only center in the state of New York that has visible personal presence in every single county. So I've been very intentional about putting advisors out in the counties. So, we've got a couple of folks that are covering Jefferson and Lewis County. I got somebody that goes to Oswego a couple of days a week. I got somebody in Madison a couple of days a week. I've got somebody here in Cayuga County and Seneca County. Actually, at the moment, it's me because we have an open position that I'm filling that's going to help cover Cayuga and Seneca counties. And we've got the ability to meet people down in Portland County. So we've been focusing intentionally on personal presence. We can also meet virtually over the phone, whatever works for the client. We'll go to the client side if it makes sense.
You're here in Cayuga County so many days a week, or?
Yeah, so the intention is to have somebody here 2 days a week. I live here, so I'm technically here like 5 days a week. But I actually am holding office hours right now here.
At State Street?
No, currently right now I have the ability to meet clients either at City Hall or at the Cayuga County ID.
Okay, so if small businesses wanted to come for your services, they could pick either location.
Correct.
And they know that because you have a website and.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, they just got to contact me and let me know where they'd like to meet and we'll make it happen.
And the money that the county support is to help make this match that you have to come up with to continue to operate.
Yes, and let me be clear about that. We became aware of this problem in 2023. We basically, our new state director said, no, you're not meeting your match requirement. And I said, come on, we're a community college, work with me a little bit. And she has. She actually has been working with us a lot to try to, and we've closed the gap a ton. But the reality is at any point in time, that state support isn't guaranteed. And she could yank what she's got available, which isn't a lot. The other thing is that in other states, Michigan, Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania, their states actually contribute far more to the match than New York does. And we're trying to change that. It's been a real slog to try to get the legislature to put us back in the place. They took us out in 2016. I don't know why, or my time, but they haven't put us back in. My personal mission, along with our state director's mission, is to get back in the budget. So this doesn't have to be a local problem anymore because it shouldn't. But I am truly grateful for the fact that across the region, all of the counties have been extremely supportive and contributing to our program.
Mr. Griffin,
Yes.
what's the survival rate for small businesses over 5 years?
Without our support, it's not great. Probably about 10 to 20%. People that work with us, that go through the program, that follow the steps. There was a study done in 2018, says that businesses that go through the SBDC program have a 90% survival rate after 5 years.
Quite high.
We pride ourselves on it. We don't want people out there starting businesses that aren't well prepared to be successful.
When you say the program, is it like a curriculum or is it like, there's a certain amount of visits you do with them? Monthly, annually, like what is the program?
It depends on what their need is. So what happens is when somebody wants to start a business, let's just assume it's a startup. They come in, we kind of assess what is their goal, right? What kind of knowledge do they have? What kind of gaps do they have in their knowledge? What kind of resources do they have available? Then we begin working on assessing their activity. And it really all starts with the financial. It's the financial model for what they're trying to propose, a viable financial model, right? And we answer that question first before we ever even start writing a business plan. Because why write a business plan if financial models need, right? So we work them through that process so that they understand the finances of it. Because the average entrepreneur that walks in for the first time, and nobody comes into us thinking they have a bad idea. Like everybody believes their idea is a great idea. But what we try to do is bring them down to reality. And we say, okay, is your revenue goal achievable? Is this rational? Is this sensible? Can you defend it to a bank, right? Our argument is if you can defend this to a bank, you can defend it to anybody. And then we work backwards from there. We say, okay, this is a financial model that works. Now let's work you through the business plan. And then we build them through that. And then we get them to funding, and then we get them to opening, and then operational success after that. How many meetings that takes? It depends. It depends on them. It depends upon all of those other intangibles that really are different. I've been doing this for 8 years now. I've never had two clients that were identical. They're all different. Even if the ideas are the same, the circumstances, the environment, it's always different. That's a fantastic question.
I guess my issues are, number one, why are we spending 70 grand? And I think you've articulated.
This is 25 a month.
Which
This
is
is not the consultant.
No.
He's small business.
Yeah.
That's a resolution on tonight, not that one.
I'm assuming.
Although I can address that topic also.
Okay.
I'll, for my question, I'll wait till later.
And if I could take a moment on that. I spend a lot of time talking with folks kind of on the ground right now that are trying to do their best with regard to economic development. And it's very difficult to be relevant in the economic development landscape when you don't have a strategy to back it up. And at the moment, the counties that are relevant, that are making progress, are the ones that actually have all of the pieces kind of figured out already. Strategy is important. It answers the what. It doesn't deal with necessarily the who, but it definitely answers the what. And I think there's a lot of what answers that are important to address. And it helps small businesses. When a county has a good strategy, like it makes it predictable. You know what I mean? Like they can actually say, okay, this county knows what they want to accomplish here. I want to have my business there. I want to. And I think that's important. So I'm always happy to have, productive conversations with folks about these kinds of topics. And, I think that the RFP that they put together, because I did get a chance to look at it, because I was curious about it, is really solid. I think it'll answer those questions. I hope that helps.
Any further questions? Not, thank you, Mr.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perry? Joe?
Good afternoon, evening, not sure what time it is. You have my report this month. There are 2 new resolutions this month, and of course, the table one. The important takeaway, the report is short again, but I gave you the list of our priority projects and areas as I've discussed before, have that mandated work and our open commitments, as well as a bullet point list of things that I'm doing for now. They're not up forever, but until we have staff time to take them on again. Any questions on my report? Do resolution?
Say that again.
Do you want me to go into the resolutions?
Well, we can,
Make sure I have the correct.
go ahead.
Okay, so the first one up tonight is PPW 3. So this is our annual resolution and contract that we have with Hobart William Smith Colleges for the Finger Lake Institute for the Wasco Lake Water Quality Monitoring Program and the buoy program around the database. As you'll see, we mentioned in the resolution and in my report that with Amanda O'Grady's help in 2023, we did do an RFP. We were able to identify that the Finger Lakes Institute at Hobart is a sole source provider for the needs that we have, giving the buoy, all the data analysis and the database. So we've attached an updated letter of that sole source letter to the resolution, as well as this year's program work and initiatives that they will be doing. This is money that's already in our WQMA budget for the year. And then I feel like there's always my favorite in here that says if yes, it's in our budget for this year, it's in our WQMA budget.
Motion to W3. Move it. Second,
A second.
okay, we're open for discussion. Any comments or questions? Nobody? Okay,
Seems important.
those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Guess not, so. Okay, PW4.
So PW4 is the SBDC contract that Mr. Bob Griffin was just talking about. This is the $25,000 that was earmarked in as part of that $150,000 in 2026 budget, economic development activities. So this is authorizing a contract between the county and SBDC for those.
Okay, motion,
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, you have a vote for discussion. Any questions or comments, anybody? If not, all those in favor of PPW 4,
Okay.
1, 2,
Aye.
3, 4. Okay. Thank you. Anything further?
Only if you want to talk about the tabled resolution now or later, that's up to you.
What?
The tabled resolution from last month.
I hope I can table it again.
Can we?
Good meeting.
We can have a discussion.
No.
Okay.
So that we've got a week to go through some of the materials that have been sent to us in our emails, and we've got materials tonight. Terry, and rather than continue to move it off month after month, just, I think if you feel confident, you make it Ways and Means chair, is it possible to move it to Ways and Means?
We certainly can. There was some questions that were asked. Gary answered them. There's a potential amendment to the resolution that was tabled that we can go over, but if you'd prefer to have this go directly to Ways and not,
My hearing is.
all right. Are you asking to have this go to Ways, or you want this to be voted on here at this committee?
I would rather go to the full legislature with it and get it over with once and for all.
Okay, so, I mean, you can, two things, you could take a vote here and it goes to Ways anyway, or,
That's correct, or there could be a motion to refer it to Ways and Means.
but there's a quorum here, is it? It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Table it to Ways.
Yes.
And go over to stuff.
Yeah, do you want her to discuss any of it?
At the ledge when we get there.
It's gonna go to Ways and Means.
I have it prepared for Ways.
Okay, all right,
Thank
sounds
you.
good, thank you.
Anything else for me, Clyde?
You're thinking it should just be voted on at the legislative meeting?
At the ledge meeting, when everybody's here.
Okay, and what about the issue? I'll see that it gets amended at the Ways meeting, support for the way we are looking at, and then it'll go.
And I'll be there, so I can.
Okay, all right, fine. Okay,
Where are we at now?
we're, it's, yes, motion to table to Ways and Means, and then to end up at the full legislature.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? If not, all those in favor, aye.
Okay.
Okay, where are we at? Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome.
Weights and measures, Kyle?
No resolutions, my report is there. I also finished just a summary of the annual report that's submitted to the New York Ag and Market. For Cayuga County in 2025, we had 271 individual establishments, so locations of stores or stations or whatever we did. We tested 1,411 devices. In addition to that, we sent in 108 petroleum quality samples where we buy gas and send it into the lab for testing. And then we also have 128 active bulk milk tanks at the dairies in the county.
Any questions for any,
This is a general question, but I had a reporter call me in the North Country, fairly close to Oswego County. But he was covering like a paper in Sterling, a small community paper. And he said that there had been a problem with a particular gas station that was mixing fuels. I said, it sounds like a law enforcement matter to me. Fortunately, I've not heard of this in our county, et cetera, is trying to answer his questions as a reporter. Have we seen an uptick or anything around this? And what is it that's happening when they mix fuels?
So they have, when they have fuel delivered, they have like an 87 octane fuel delivered or a 93 or maybe ethanol free 90.
And when you have an 89 octane, they'll mix the 87 and the 93. So we do test that. That's part of the petroleum quality where I'll buy samples at every gas station in the county. And it has to meet the posted octane on the pump. So we do that. We've had a failure where the driver of the truck dumped the wrong gas into the wrong tank where they had to come clean it out and refill it. But we haven't seen any upticks or any what I would consider a bad actor, let's say, on the part of an owner.
Thank you. We skipped Kelly and Dan.
No, it's just great.
Okay.
I saw Kyle sitting there, so I looked up. Kelly, please.
Good evening. I will give one update. I don't really want to call it highlight. It's mostly an update because it's part of our audit, so it's not really a high place there. Other than we're about 2 weeks in, we had our entrance meeting 2 weeks ago, and tomorrow is our on-site visit with the state. So the state auditor will come in person and walk through and do his spiel with me, go over everything that they've already reviewed. And then hopefully the exit will be 2 weeks later. And pretty hopeful that we won't have any findings, probably some best practices, as you know, always it happens when they can't find findings. They'll usually give you some best practices. So I'm pretty optimistic that we'll do well with that. So that's really been consuming over the past, throughout this month. We did onboard and started the first month of our new youth worker staff person. He's done a lot of recruiting. We've engaged more youth than we had since he's come on board, and done a lot of recruiting and work sites and things like that. So he's been a positive addition to our team. And then just kind of a business success story that I want to share. We work closely with Cayuga Milk Ingredients, and they had a short-term project that they needed to fill some staffing to box up, I believe, some protein products powder. And they had an immediate need. We did some recruiting for them within 10 days. We also did a post on Facebook. We had over 27,000 views in 10 days. So that's a lot. Obviously from our page, we don't have a huge following, but it was shared so much, and then those shares were shared. But we had over 27,000 viewings, and they closed the order with us because we were able to help them fill. I think most of or all of the applicants people that they hired were through us. So just wanted to share that. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dan, I guess you're up.
Yep. So we're doing, we're in the middle of our heavy program season for both farmers and a lot of youth programming going on. One thing I did want to highlight that we're working on both education and doing some research on farm is around the issue of neonicotinoids. These are synthetic chemicals that mimic nicotine, and they've been using them in several different ways to control pests. The state has implemented a ban on those that's going to come into effect in the next few years because they have some adverse impacts on pollinators. But in many cases, there isn't another type of crop protectant that will work on that particular pest in that particular crop. So we're doing some research in corn around seed corn maggot. There's a lot of concerns in the fruit and vegetable industry around that. So that's going to be something that we'll be working on over the next several years.
What's the status on lantern flies?
Which one? Sorry.
Lantern flies. Isn't that the name for them?
Yeah.
The grape industry?
Yeah, the lantern flies. Yeah, they're still, luckily, we haven't had a major infestation here in Cayuga County yet, but it's all around us. And they're still working on what's the best way to control them They're doing a lot of work on that and the experiment station in Geneva on that and the grapes.
Okay, any questions for Dan? Comments? No, thank you, Dan.
Okay. You're welcome.
Looks like Doug might be next. There you go. Someone?
Yes, I'm on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't have much of a voice. I also don't have any resolutions. I'm happy to take any questions on my report. I also was going to ask, we did have a resolution tabled last month for rental rates, and I didn't see that on the agenda. So wanted to know if that was posted for now or for ways.
No, I don't have it on the agenda either. So.
It's, Doug, I think it was on the agenda earlier, but I think that if I understood from Amanda, that's going directly to Ways.
Okay.
Okay, you're back on. Anything further?
No, I didn't have anything to add to the report.
Any questions? Nobody? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll get skipped, yes. Nice.
Could I ask a question? Would it be appropriate for this tabled resolution to be a ledge resolution and go directly to the legislature?
That could happen, yes.
I think that makes more sense. That's more in line with what Hans was hoping.
Would you like it amended? Because I know that.
Yes.
Yeah, because we.
And I want to know about amending the title as well, because it's really.
Yes. We'll see that it's done and get it to Ledge at the end of the month.
Okay, is that okay with you, Hans? That this resolution for the countywide economic development strategy will be amended to make sure it shows that we're allowing the RFP, but we won't be taking action on the awarding of the contract until we have more information. And it can go directly to as a legislative resolution, so the full legislature can act on it. Is that okay with you? Okay.
And I'll get the title amended as well.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Doug. I guess unless somebody has questions. No? Okay, Courtney?
We'll keep a hold.
Yep. So on the front page of the report is the Zartico insights from December. Again, this is the data that we use to make our smart, informed decisions about the work that we do in office. One of the things that has come to our attention that we are seeing is the occupancy tax. So really since COVID, since 2020, it's a national trend that we're seeing a little bit of a dip in hotel occupancy, even though the average daily rate has increased. People are at our lodgings, they're also telling us that there's a shorter booking window. So people, even though the rates are higher, they are still cautious about booking and they're really doing very at the last minute booking. So it's becoming very hard to predict and project what the occupancy is going to be. But I do want to highlight what was in the report. We are seeing this, and because we do not yet know exactly what our Q4 collection is going to be for 2025. Right now, our projected budget, which ours is a predicted budget, is at 87% for 2025, which is about 337 less than what we forecasted. So what we do internally, we really took a proactive, progressive approach, really started spending conservatively. We pulled back programs starting back in August to really be considerate about this, because what we have to do is make sure that we have enough in our savings to get us through Q1. So I just wanted to explain that when you do see the occupancy reports, it's really a national trend that we are seeing. So that's where we're at right now.
the treasurer has not looked at the fourth quarter yet and given you any information to know how the year will end up.
Exactly.
Yes, I asked him about that
Yes,
today when I
yes.
saw him, that when
Yeah.
would we be able to know how the end of the year?
Exactly. And we typically don't get our Q1 voucher, which is the Q4 collections, until about March. So we have to start our year with enough to get us through the first quarter. The thing about this, though, that we are seeing with some of the tourism economics, they are also saying that Q1, Q2 could be very slow, but the second half of the year, they're predicting a little bit of a moderate growth, but more so of our higher end accommodations. That's why we're really leaning into the luxury, and we're really looking to our groups, which I've given you our new groups guide. This is what our marketing and sales director is out doing, going out to all of these shows, selling our county, getting people to come here. She's already been successful, which we'll see in the report. We've already gotten an RFP. We won the RFP for the Association of Public Historians of New York State. They are bringing their conference here in 2027. So they have blocked off 65 rooms for 3 nights. And then this fall, we have a overnight bus group confirmed at the Hilton Garden Inn as well. So we are working hard to get more overnight groups here. Any questions about the occupancy tax? The other thing I do want to highlight for you is we heard Mr. Griffin talk about their growth services program that they might be offering. So this is something that our office is offering to our nonprofits. We have a fund development incubator that is open right now to all of our area nonprofits. A lot of our attractions are nonprofits, and we found that a lot of them don't have the internal staffing or the capacity to know how to do sustainable fundraising. So this program is helping them get a plan together so that they can be self-sustaining and know how to fundraise for themselves. Our next class is on February 26th. And this, again, is open to the public. In my report, you'll see the applications there. Any nonprofits that you know in your districts that need some capacity building support, please send them to apply for this. And one of the other things that I do want to highlight for you is some of our marketing campaigns that we are doing. We are leaning a little bit more into our outdoor attractions, not just being sports, but more so into the hunting and the fishing. Our office manager right now, Lynn, is at the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, representing Cayuga County, which is the biggest outdoor show in the country. So she's there promoting Lake Ontario fishing, but also Cayuga Lake hunting as well. So I think Legislator Strong, your district, I've heard, is very good for geese hunting. So I may be reaching out to you for some information about that. So we do have with Lake Ontario Sport Fishing, there is a brand new visitor guide coming out and a website that's going to be available in March.
Any questions? Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.
Can you get these somewhere up, like more?
So yes, so we have these in office. They are also online digitally on our website.
Is Carl there somewhere? He is, isn't he? Oh, Carl, someplace. Okay, well, we'll go on to Kevin.
Sure. Good evening. Like I started to say before, I don't have any resolutions. You got my report. Any comments or questions? Pretty much we're just fighting this relentless winter, keeping the heat on and keeping the parking lots and sidewalks safe. And I hope it ends soon.
For sure.
And
You do have a resolution? I don't.
Does not.
I do not.
It does not.
He says no, he doesn't have.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
Thank you.
We have somebody left here. Must be somebody.
Brian Soper,
Brian.
last but not least.
I don't think I'm last either, but.
Oh.
Okay.
Second to last.
The only thing I'd like to add is, we were running low on salt, but we have been getting deliveries right along as long as it's not snowing. So we'll continue getting the deliveries, but Cargill is out of their supply. They're only hauling what they can mine every day. So it's really cut back on our deliveries. But we'll just keep doing what we do. And I do have 2 resolutions.
How much salt supply do you have? How many days?
Depends on what barn we're talking about. It's different in each
Well,
facility, but.
normal.
We have 3 or 4 days of salt.
That's all?
Yes, well. It's getting real tight.
Okay,
My first resolution's PP1 is to authorize to extend the bids. These are all bids that we previously bid, 23, 24, and 25 that we agreed to extend with the vendors.
motion for PW one.
Yeah, note it.
Second.
A second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on it? If not, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay, W two,
Is authorizing to fill an MEO's position. This is budgeted, been through personnel committee.
okay, motion for W two. I move it. Need a second. Heidi?
Yes.
Okay, any questions on it? Comments? Not all those in favor of W two, aye.
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 I guess that's it, so,
Oh. All for him.
Doug.
yeah,
Just Doug left.
thank you. Doug?
All right, I'll wrap it up. So for us, the good news, we did hear back from the state on one of our grants that we applied for through the WQIP Water Quality Improvement Program projects. Got 2 grants. One of them will be working with county highways and the town highways to get those the 5-inch plow blades, which are making the rounds, which is great. As well as some other salting equipment. The goal is to reduce the amount of salt, and especially in years like this, it probably could go a long way. And then also for water quality, and then the other grant was for your typical road stabilization stuff. So that was good news. We've been waiting to hear. We put the applications in July, and we just heard on that a couple of weeks ago. We're still waiting to hear on the ag grants that we submitted over the winter, and I think that's coming out later this month. The determinations on that. So more. Hopefully grant funding will be coming in, and then we're just wrapping up. This is a time of year we do a lot of paperwork. People finish some projects late in the fall. We're going through the closeout procedures with that as we're writing new grants for that are due in April. So we stay busy through the winter. Not as busy as Brian's plow guys this time of year, but we do what we can. Any questions?
Any questions at all or comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess that's it, so.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We're moving.